the Lanterns of Lyria. That's where our journey begins tonight. In the quiet valley of Lyria, nights were never dark. Hundreds of golden lanterns floated in the air, drifting like sleepy fireflies across the velvet sky. You walk barefoot on the cool grass, each step making the earth sigh beneath you. The wind smells of jasmine, wrapping around you like an old friend's embrace. Far ahead, an ancient oak stands, its branches hung with tiny glass orbs that hum softly, almost like they're singing to the stars. You reach out to touch one, and it feels warm, as if holding a secret meant only for you. The orb in your palm glows brighter, and then it breathes. A golden mist escapes, curling through the night air like threads of sunlight lost in time. From the mist, a shape begins to form. Small wings, delicate as autumn leaves, shimmering with 1,000 colours. It's a tiny lightkeeper, a creature born only from the dreams of the kind-hearted. It tilts its head, studying you with curious eyes, then drifts closer, its warmth brushing your cheek like a memory. Without words, it turns and begins to float toward the heart of the valley. The grass bends under an invisible tide, and far away you see the faint glow of something waiting for you in the silence. You follow the lightkeeper, each step sinking deeper into the velvet night. The air grows warmer, scented with honey and rain. Somewhere, water is singing. The valley opens into a hidden grove, its floor blanketed in silver moss that glows under the moonlight. In the center, a pool, so still it feels like glass, reflecting not the sky above, but another world entirely. Cities made of crystal towers, rivers flowing with light, skies painted with colors no human eye has known. The lightkeeper hovers above the water, wings scattering gold dust over the surface. The pool shimmers, ripples stretching outward, as if inviting you to step through. You step forward, toes brushing the water's surface, and it isn't cold. It feels like warm silk wrapping around your skin. The ripples rise higher, curling like ribbons around your ankles, your knees, until the grove melts away. You are weightless, drifting through a tunnel of liquid starlight. Tiny fish made of glowing dust swim past, leaving trails that dance behind them. Somewhere, far ahead, you hear bells, soft, chiming notes that match the rhythm of your heartbeat. The tunnel opens and you emerge into a vast sky where clouds glow from within. Beneath you, an ocean of light stretches forever, waves whispering secrets only the night can keep. And in the distance, a floating city awaits. The floating city drifts closer, its walls carved from moonstone, glowing with a silver light that feels alive. Towers rise like gentle waves frozen in time, their tips crowned with lanterns that sway in an unseen breeze. Bridges made of crystal arc between the towers, each one humming faintly, as though carrying songs from another age. Below, the ocean of light laps softly at the city's edges, sending ripples of gold through the air. As you step onto the nearest bridge, your feet make no sound. only the delicate chime of bells hidden somewhere in the stone. You feel lighter here, as if gravity has politely stepped aside. Far ahead, a great hall stands open, its doors carved with constellations that shift and shimmer like living stars. They seem to be watching you. The floating city drifts closer, its walls carved from moonstone, glowing with a silver light that feels alive. Towers rise like gentle waves frozen in time, their tips crowned with lanterns that sway in an unseen breeze. Bridges made of crystal arc between the towers, each one humming faintly as though carrying songs from another age. Below, the ocean of light laps softly at the city's edges, sending ripples of gold through the air. As you step onto the nearest bridge, your feet make no sound, only the delicate chime of bells hidden somewhere in the stone. You feel lighter here, as if gravity has politely stepped aside. Far ahead, a great hall stands open, its doors carved with constellations that shift and shimmer like living stars. They seem to be watching you. The question hangs in the air like a note that refuses to fade. You glance at the crystal table and see it shift, showing images made of light. A forest where trees sing with voices of the wind, a library with books that write themselves as you read, an endless shore where every wave carries a memory you've lost. The silver-cloaked figures watch silently, patient as the moon. It feels as if time here bends to your heartbeat, waiting for you to choose. One figure leans forward, mist curling around their form. Every dream, they say, opens a door, but you may walk through only one tonight. Your fingers hover above the visions, each glowing softly, calling to you in ways you can't quite name. Somewhere deep inside, you know, whichever you choose will become your path. Your hand drifts, then settles on the image of the singing forest. The crystal ripples under your touch, sending waves of green and gold across the room. The silver-cloaked figures nod, their mist swirling faster like wind through leaves. A doorway blooms in the air beside you, its frame woven from living vines, each leaf humming a soft, haunting tune. You step closer, the scent of rain and wildflowers curling around you. The closer you get, the louder the forest's song becomes, wrapping around your thoughts until nothing else exists. Beyond the doorway, moonlight filters through towering trees, their bark etched with glowing runes. And in the distance, a single low voice hums a melody that feels older than time itself. The moment you step through, the air changes, rich with the scent of moss, rain, and something sweet like honey drifting on the wind. The trees here are impossibly tall, their branches tangled in silver clouds. Each trunk hums softly, as though speaking in a language your heart almost understands. A trail of glowing petals guides your way, curling deeper into the forest. With every step, the ground feels warmer, as if it remembers the sun that once touched it. Above, tiny winged lights flit between branches, their laughter like wind chimes in the breeze. Somewhere far ahead, the deep humming voice grows clearer, low, steady, almost like it's calling your name. The forest doesn't feel dangerous. It feels like it's waiting for you. You follow the sound, each step pressing deeper into the forest's heart. The humming shifts, becoming words, though not in any tongue you've heard, yet somehow you understand. A clearing opens ahead. At its center stands a tree older than memory, its roots coiling like ancient rivers. From its trunk spills a waterfall of golden light, and beside it, a figure carved from living wood. They turn to you, their eyes glowing green. "Traveler," the voice rumbles, "you have stepped into the songwood. Few are invited, fewer leave unchanged." The golden light ripples toward you, brushing against your skin, warm, comforting, almost like a welcome. You step closer, your heartbeat falling into rhythm with the tree's song. The wooden figure tilts their head, listening, not to the forest, but to you. "Your soul carries echoes," they murmur, "memories you've forgotten, dreams you have yet to dream." They reach into the golden light and pull out a small sphere pulsing like a heartbeat.
"This is yours. It has been waiting."
When you take it, the sphere melts into your palm, sending warmth through every vein. The forest around you shifts, petals floating upward, branches bowing as though in respect. The golden light dims, replaced by starlight trickling through the branches. You realize the forest has grown utterly silent. Then, a single bell chimes in the distance, so faint you almost think it's in your mind. The wooden figure steps back.
"The bell calls to the one who carries the sphere,"
they say.
"It will lead you to the whispering pool."
You follow the sound, your feet finding the glowing path without thought. Each chime feels softer, yet closer. And in that quiet your mind drifts to places you've never been, and yet somehow belong to you. The path bends, opening to a pool so still it mirrors the stars perfectly. You kneel at its edge, the air cool and fragrant with night-blooming flowers. A ripple stirs, though no wind touches it. Shapes form in the water, moments from your life, some real, some dreams you never lived. Your hand hovers above the surface. It feels like touching the past, the present, and the future all at once. The bell's sound fades, replaced by a low, soothing voice from the water itself.
"Traveler, what do you seek?"
You hesitate, unsure if the voice speaks aloud or inside your thoughts. The pool glimmers brighter, urging you to answer.
"I seek
You pause, feeling the forest hold its breath.
peace and the truth of who I am."
The water shivers with silver light.
"Then listen,
It says.
but know, truth carries weight."
You lean forward, and the pool deepens, becoming an endless sky drawing you in. For a heartbeat, you feel like falling, and then floating. You find yourself standing on a field of clouds. The stars above hum softly, almost like they're speaking to each other. One star drifts closer, growing into a figure made of pure light.
"You are not lost.
They say.
You are only unfinished."
They reach into their chest and pull out a shard of crystal, shaped like the sphere from the forest.
"This will complete you, but you must choose to carry it."
You feel the weight of the choice, though the shard is light as air. You take the shard. The moment it touches your skin, the clouds beneath you ripple, and you're back at the pool's edge. The wooden figure stands beside you again, but now their eyes shine brighter.
"You've accepted what was missing."
They say. The forest exhales, a warm breeze carrying petals and the scent of home. For the first time, you realize the humming voice you followed is now inside you. The songwood has made you part of its story. The figure steps back, and the vines behind you weave into a new doorway. Beyond it, faint lights dance in the dark, like a village waiting to be found. This path leads to the Lantern Market, they explain, where every light holds a story, and some stories change their tellers. You step through, the air warming as the scent of spiced air and baked bread drifts toward you. In the distance, hundreds of floating lanterns sway in slow patterns, painting the night with gold. The Lantern Market glows like a dream given shape. Stalls of silk, crystal and strange fruit line the cobblestone streets. Lanterns hang at every corner, some small enough to hold in your palm, others large enough to walk through. Each glows with a faint image moving inside. A memory, a dream, a possibility. A merchant with eyes like candle flames waves you over. Traveller, they smile. Care to trade a story for a light? You realise you have more stories now than you arrived with. You choose a small lantern with swirling blue mist inside. The merchant takes your hand, and for a moment your mind floods with images from your journey so far. They nod satisfied and press the lantern into your palm. Keep it close, they say. It will guide you when shadows fall. As you leave the stall, you notice the market's music growing softer, a slow, gentle rhythm that matches your heartbeat. At the edge of the market, a stone archway opens into a wide plain under a silver sky. The lantern in your hand flickers, casting long, soft shadows ahead. You feel the songwood, the pool, the market, all still with you, as though they've taken root in your soul. And somewhere deep inside you know this is only the first night of your journey. The path glows ahead, waiting for your next step, and you're ready to take it. The plain stretches endlessly, soft grass whispering under your feet. Above, the silver sky shifts, clouds curling into shapes of animals and faces you half recognize. You sense they're watching you, not with suspicion, but with quiet curiosity. A stream winds through the plain, its water shimmering with colors you can't name. You kneel, touch the surface, and laughter drifts up like a memory of joy. This place knows you, even if you don't yet know it. The stream leads you toward a cluster of glowing stones. They hum in harmony, their light pulsing like slow heartbeats. As you draw near, the hum matches your breathing, and then your thoughts. You place your palm on the nearest stone, and for an instant, the world around you falls away. You're weightless, surrounded by light, hearing 1,000 voices singing as one. It feels like belonging. When the vision fades, you're no longer alone. A tall figure stands beside you, cloaked in wind and moonlight. You walk the threads, they say, their voice like distant thunder. Few can hear the stones without losing themselves. They offer you a silver thread, glowing faintly. This will keep you anchored, but it will also show you the way. You tie it around your wrist, and the hum of the stones feels softer, like a heartbeat you can carry with you. You follow the thread's pull, each step weaving into an unseen pattern. The air shifts, warmer now, carrying scents of rain on dry earth. In the distance, a small campfire burns alone, its flames dancing blue. You approach slowly, and a shadowy figure gestures for you to sit. They don't speak. Instead, they hand you a steaming cup. The first sip tastes like stories you've never heard, yet somehow remember. The silent figure tosses herbs into the fire. Sparks spiral upward, shaping into scenes, a map of the land, mountains and seas you've yet to see. One spark lingers, drifting down into your lap. It's warm, glowing, and shaped like a tiny lantern. You look up to thank the figure, but they're gone, leaving only the sound of the fire and the taste of something sweet on your tongue. You carry the tiny lantern with care, its light barely enough to see the path ahead. Still, the plain feels less empty now, as if every blade of grass has turned to watch your journey. In the far distance, you spot the silhouette of a bridge, impossibly high, stretching into clouds. The lantern flickers, and you know it wants you to cross. The bridge is made of glass, yet feels stronger than stone. Beneath it, nothing, only swirling stars, as if you're walking across the night sky itself. Each step sends ripples through the stars below, and distant constellations shimmer in reply. Halfway across, you pause, realizing the stars are forming words. Keep going, they say. The sky remembers. Hum, sigh. When you reach the far side, the glass turns to white marble, leading to a gate carved with flowing patterns. Wisps. The gate opens without touch, revealing a city that glows like moonlight caught in crystal. Its streets are silent, yet alive. Banners flutter without wind, fountains flow without sound. You feel as though you've stepped into a dream that hasn't decided if it's yours. Ha! A childlike figure runs toward you, their hair made of starlight. They stop just short, peering up with wide eyes. Wisps! You've brought the light, they say softly. Then you can see the library. They take your hand, leading you through winding streets until a towering building appears. Walls of glass, roof like woven silver. Inside, the library hums with quiet magic. Shelves spiral into the air, each holding books that glow faintly. Wisps. Some pages turn on their own. Others breathe. The starlight child hands you a book, its cover warm to the touch. When you open it, you see not ink, but moving images, moments from the journey you've just taken. Ha! And some from journeys still to come. Ha! You turn the glowing pages, each one pulling you deeper into the story, your story. Wisps. But then a page appears blank, except for a single silver line curving into the shape of a key. The starlight child tilts their head. That one, you have to write yourself. You take the silver quill they hand you. The moment the tip touches the page, the library fades away. Harm. You find yourself standing in a field of tall flowers, their petals glimmering like tiny suns. Whisps. The air hums softly, as if the earth itself is singing. In the center stands an ancient tree, its roots thick as rivers. Hanging from its branches are dozens of keys, each one a different shape, each one whispering something you can almost hear. You step closer, the silver thread on your wrist pulsing gently. One key swings forward, brighter than the rest. Ha! It feels warm, alive, like it's been waiting for you. When you touch it, the flowers bow toward the tree, and a doorway appears between its roots, a doorway of golden mist. Ha! You step through the mist, feeling weightless, as though gravity has forgotten you. Ha! The world on the other side is painted in twilight, soft purples, deep blues, and halfway across you pause, realizing the stars are forming words. Keep going, they say. The sky remembers. When you reach the far side, the glass turns to white marble, leading to a gate carved with flowing patterns. The gate opens without touch, revealing a city that glows like moonlight caught in crystal. Its streets are silent, yet alive. Banners flutter without wind, fountains flow without sound. You feel as though you've stepped into a dream that hasn't decided if it's yours. A childlike figure runs toward you, their hair made of starlight. They stop just short, peering up with wide eyes. "You've brought the light," they say softly. "Then you can see the library." They take your hand, leading you through winding streets until a towering building appears. Walls of glass, roof like woven silver, and stars that move like fireflies. A gentle wind carries scents of honey and rain. Somewhere, faint music plays, the kind that makes you both happy and homesick. The path ahead is lined with lanterns, each one holding a tiny floating feather. When you pass them, the feathers drift upward, glowing brighter until they vanish into the sky. You realize each one carries a memory, not just yours, but from countless others who walked here before. At the path's end, you find a lake so still, it reflects not just the sky, but your thoughts. When you kneel beside it, the reflection blinks and smiles at you. It reaches out from the water, offering a small crystal vial filled with light. You take it, and your reflection fades, leaving the water silent again. Carrying the vial, you follow the shoreline until you find a stone archway half buried in vines. As you step through, the air becomes cool, the ground turning to smooth marble. You're in a hall lined with mirrors, but none of them show you. Instead, they show doors. You walk past the mirrors slowly, each door leading to a place stranger than the last. A garden growing inside a clock, a library underwater, a desert made of clouds. One door swings open on its own. Inside, a spiral staircase disappears into shadows. You step in, the door closing silently behind you. The staircase twists endlessly downward until you arrive at a small chamber lit by a single candle. A figure sits beside it, their face hidden, their hands weaving something out of silver thread. They glance up. "I've been mending your path," they say softly, "but there's one place left you must see." They hand you the silver thread, now longer, stronger, woven with gold. "Tie it to the place that feels like home," they tell you. "Only then will your journey end." When you look down, the floor beneath you begins to ripple, pulling you into its depths. You land in a forest drenched in moonlight. Every leaf glows faintly, and the air is alive with the sound of distant waterfalls. You follow a narrow path until it opens into a clearing where a small house stands, windows glowing warmly, smoke curling from the chimney. The door opens before you knock. Inside, it's exactly how you'd imagine home to be. The smell of baking bread, a soft chair by the fire, shelves lined with trinkets from your travels. A voice from the kitchen says, "Welcome back." But when you turn, there's no one there. On the table lies a simple wooden box. When you open it, you find a folded piece of parchment. It reads, "You've carried the light. You've walked the threads. Now, rest." A sudden warmth fills the room, and the silver thread on your wrist begins to glow. You tie the golden woven thread to the mantle above the fire. The moment it's secure, the entire room exhales. The fire brightens, the walls shimmer, and outside, the moon grows impossibly large. It feels like the world is finally still. You sit by the fire, the vial of light on the table beside you. Slowly, you open it. The light spills out like water, flowing through the room, sinking into the walls, the floor, the air. You realize it's not just light. It's every step of your journey, returning home. The starlight child appears in the doorway, smiling. "Now you remember," they say. You nod, though you're not entirely sure what it is you remember. Still, the feeling in your chest is enough. The quiet certainty that this is where you're meant to be. You close your eyes, and the sounds of the forest drift in. The rustle of glowing leaves, the distant waterfall, the faint hum of the stones far away. You could stay here forever. And perhaps you will. The silver thread shimmers once more before fading into your skin, leaving no mark but a faint warmth. Outside, the moon begins to set, and the first light of dawn touches the treetops. A new day waits, but there's no rush. You step outside, the cool morning air wrapping around you like an old friend. The forest path stretches ahead, but for now, you simply watch the sun rise. The world feels both vast and close, as though every place you've been still lingers here. You turn back toward the little house, its windows glowing in the morning light. "Home," you whisper to yourself, and for the first time in a long time, you believe it. You step into a clearing, bathed in golden dusk light. The air shimmers as though holding its breath for something extraordinary. In the center stands a tree so vast Its roots curve like sleeping dragons beneath the earth. Its leaves are 1,000 colours at once, each one whispering secrets when the wind passes through. A small figure, cloaked in emerald, sits at the base, humming a melody older than the stars. They open one eye, as if they've been expecting you for centuries. Ah, they murmur, voice warm as embers. You've finally arrived. The figure rises, brushing moss from their robes, and gestures for you to follow. Their movements are slow, deliberate, like each step is part of a sacred dance. They lead you to a pool fed by silver waterfalls. The water glows faintly, reflecting constellations that aren't in tonight's sky. This, they say, is where dreams are born. The pool's surface trembles, and you see faint images, laughing children, distant mountains, the faces of people you've yet to meet. Somehow, it feels like home. Kneeling beside the pool, you dip your fingertips into the water. A warmth travels up your arm, settling in your chest. The images shift, now showing you walking down a moonlit path, the emerald-cloaked figure by your side. Not all who wander are lost, they say, their voice almost a song. The words echo through you, deeper than sound, settling in the marrow of your bones. The forest hums around you as if agreeing. A faint breeze stirs the air. The petals from unseen blossoms swirl around you, each one glowing softly before fading. The figure smiles faintly. Every path in this forest leads somewhere you need to go, but never where you expect. You can't help but laugh at the truth in their tone. Hand in hand, you step away from the pool, deeper into the singing forest, where shadows twist into graceful shapes and light lingers like a memory. The sound changes here, the hum replaced by faint, crystalline chimes. You glance up to find glass-like fruit hanging from the branches, glowing faintly in the twilight. One drops into your hand, surprisingly warm. Taste it, the figure urges, eyes twinkling. You bite gently, and the flavour is unlike anything, like sunrise, laughter, and the first breath of spring, all at once. You almost forget where you are. As you walk, the forest floor grows softer until it feels like walking on clouds. Your steps make no sound. Even the air seems to hush, as if listening for something important. Then you hear it, faint singing far ahead, a voice so beautiful it feels like silk brushing across your soul. It's not just sound, it's a feeling, wrapping you in warmth. Drawn to the song, you follow a path lined with silver ferns. Each one trembles as you pass, scattering droplets of light like dew. You step into another clearing. In the centre stands a woman in flowing robes, her hair like liquid gold, eyes closed as she sings. The melody curls through the air like smoke, touching everything it passes. She opens her eyes. For a heartbeat, you feel as though the world stops moving. Her gaze is not sharp, but endless, like the ocean. "I've been waiting," she says, voice like the echo of distant bells. She gestures for you to come closer, her movements fluid, like a river in slow motion. She leads you to a ring of stones, each one carved with symbols glowing faintly in the dim light. "This is a place of memory," she murmurs. "Here, We see what we've forgotten. The stones hum in unison, and visions rise between them, not of the past or future, but of the moments your heart has kept hidden. You see yourself as a child, chasing fireflies in a meadow under an indigo sky. You hear your own laughter, pure, unbroken. For a moment, you ache to return to that night. The golden-haired woman's hand rests gently on your shoulder. "You never left it," she says. "It lives here." She taps your chest, smiling softly. And somehow you believe her. The forest feels warmer now, as though her words lit something deep inside you. The stones fade back into stillness, and the golden-haired woman nods toward a narrow trail ahead. Go. The heart of Eldoria waits. You step forward, the path winding like a silver ribbon through the trees. Somewhere far off, you hear the steady beat of a drum, slow, ancient, powerful. The drumbeat grows louder, syncing with your heartbeat. Each step feels heavier, but not unpleasant, as though you are walking deeper into the truth of yourself. Lanterns appear along the path, each flame floating in mid-air without string or stand. Their glow is warm, almost human, and each one leans slightly toward you, as if curious. The path opens into a vast glade. At its center stands a stone altar, covered in glowing moss. Around it, hundreds of lanterns hover, swaying gently, their light breathing in and out like living things. The sight steals your breath. From the shadows, a tall figure emerges. Cloaked in midnight blue, they move with the gravity of a tide. In one hand, they hold a staff topped with a crystal pulsing faintly to the drum's rhythm. "Traveller," they say, voice deep and resonant, "you have come far, but the heart of Eldoria is not given, it is earned." They gesture to the altar. "Place your hands here. Offer something you cannot take back." You hesitate. What could you give? Then you understand. It's not an object they seek, but a truth. You close your eyes and let a secret slip from your lips, one you've never told another soul. The moss glows brighter. The lanterns begin to circle the altar, their movements slow and hypnotic. The drumbeat fades into silence, replaced by the sound of wind in the high branches. The midnight figure smiles faintly. "Eldoria knows you now." And somehow, you know it too, as if the forest itself has remembered your name. They tap the crystal on their staff, and a beam of pale light shoots upward, splitting the clouds. Through the opening, you glimpse a sky unlike any you've seen, deep violet, strewn with silver rivers of stars. It feels like looking into forever. The light falls back to earth, forming a doorway of shimmering air. You feel the pull immediately, a gentle, magnetic tug in your chest. The midnight figure bows. Your journey continues beyond this gate. What waits there will shape you, and you will shape it. You step through. For a moment there is nothing. No sound, no sight. Only the feeling of falling upward. Then your feet touch soft grass. You are in a meadow under a sky where 3 moons hang low, casting silver light over fields of flowers that hum faintly. It is impossibly beautiful. They smile as you approach. "Welcome," they say. "We've been waiting a long time for you." And in that moment, you feel the story has only just begun. The path narrows, wrapped in silver mist. Each step feels lighter, as if the earth itself carries you forward. The trees lean in, their leaves brushing together like 1,000 quiet secrets. In the distance, a faint golden glow spills through the fog, warm, steady, inviting. It feels like home, even though you've never been here before. The glow flickers, revealing a meadow blanketed with star-shaped flowers. They open as you pass, releasing a fragrance so sweet it makes your heart ache. The humming is here, close now, almost human, almost lullaby. You kneel, brushing your fingers over the petals, and the ground hums back, the air shimmers. A figure forms from light and mist, tall, cloaked, with eyes like the calmest ocean. They tilt their head studying you. No words, just a slow smile that feels like sunrise. You've been expected. They step closer, and the meadow brightens. Every flower turns toward them like children to a parent. Their voice is not spoken but felt, wrapping around your mind. You've walked far, but you were never alone. Tears warm your cheeks before you realize you're crying. Not from sadness, but from the strange joy that blooms when you know you're exactly where you're meant to be. The figure lifts a hand, and the forest responds. Petals rise into the air, spiraling like snow in slow motion. The humming turns into a melody, low and soothing, and you feel your heartbeat match its rhythm. Around you, the tiny winged lights return, dancing between your fingers, landing on your shoulders like whispers of warmth. You laugh softly, the sound blending with theirs. The figure extends their hand. When you take it, the meadow fades. The mist swirls, and you are walking again. But now the world feels sharper, brighter, as though it has been waiting for your eyes to open. The path is different now, smoother, lined with lanterns that light as you pass. The air hums with a soft, familiar tune. You realize it's your own heartbeat. Slow, steady, at peace. You glance at the figure beside you, and though they say nothing, their presence feels like a promise. Whatever lies ahead, you will not walk it alone. The forest watches, the sky listens, and you are home. The forest opens up to a vast lake, its surface like liquid glass, reflecting 1,000 stars. The air here is cool, carrying the scent of jasmine and old stories. A small boat waits at the shore, rocking gently. You step inside, feeling the wood warm beneath your feet. The boat drifts silently across the lake, every ripple glowing softly with moonlight. Above, constellations shift and dance, painting stories of ancient travelers who once crossed these waters. The silence wraps around you like a blanket, comforting and deep. As you reach the far shore, the water parts to reveal a path of light. Stepping stones floating just above the surface. You step carefully, each stone singing a note that echoes your heart's quiet song. At the path's end stands a temple carved from white marble, its doors wide open, inviting you in. Inside, soft golden light spills from candles that never burn down, The air hums with unseen voices, telling tales of hope and healing. A figure in flowing robes greets you, their eyes full of kindness and knowing. You have journeyed far and carried much, they say softly. Now it is time to rest. You feel your shoulders relax for the first time in ages. The figure guides you to a room filled with soft cushions and gentle light. You sit, feeling the weight of your travels melt away. Outside, the temple's bells ring a melody that feels like the heartbeat of the world itself. Closing your eyes, you hear voices. Friends made in dreams, places visited only in whispers, moments caught between night and dawn. You smile, knowing these memories will stay with you, safe and glowing. The figure's voice floats around you like a warm breeze. Every journey ends where it begins, they say, and every ending is a new beginning. You feel a lightness growing inside, a promise of more stories yet to come. Slowly the temple fades, replaced by the quiet dawn of Eldoria's forest. The first birds sing softly, welcoming the new day. You stand, feeling the forest's gentle embrace. The path stretches ahead, calm, inviting, full of endless possibilities. And with a deep breath, you step forward, ready to dream again. The morning light filters through the leaves, casting dappled patterns on the path. Whisper. Each step feels lighter, as if the earth is lifting you toward the sky. A gentle breeze carries the scent of wildflowers and new beginnings. You hear laughter, distant, warm, like an echo from another time. It wraps around you, weaving into the rhythm of your heartbeat. The forest seems to join in, leaves rustling in harmony. Ahead, the path opens to a hilltop overlooking Eldoria's endless plains, bathed in golden sunlight. You stand there quietly, watching the world stretch out in peaceful beauty, feeling your spirit stretch with it. A flock of birds takes flight, their wings beating a soft cadence that matches your breathing. You smile, feeling connected to everything, sky, earth, and heart. You close your eyes, letting the warmth of the sun settle into your skin. The stories you've walked, the dreams you've gathered, all become part of you. The wind carries a whisper, almost too soft to hear. Until next time, it says, like a promise, like a lullaby. You open your eyes slowly, feeling peace bloom inside you like a flower unfolding. This moment, still, perfect, will live with you long after the story ends. The stars begin to fade as dawn brightens the sky. A gentle invitation lingers in the air to dream, to wander, to always return to the quiet heart of Eldoria. You take one last look at the land beneath you, etching the image deep into your soul. Wherever you go, this piece will follow you. And now, as you close your eyes and drift softly into sleep, the journey never truly ends. It lives in every breath, every dream, forever. Good night, dear traveller. May your dreams be soft, your heart light, and your soul forever at peace.